All right, welcome to another quick-fire episode of Odds.
Done our dough, chaps. We've done our dough.
We're heading into week 13. So, recap of week 12, outlay of 50 on the races. Got back about $38, so there weren't any sort of big collects. There was like a little bit from Evaporate, which was a good winner, Each Way on Genti and Blue, which ran second, a trifecta in the race that Bozusto ran a place, and then in the last race, the last bet we had in Sydney, Royal Patronage. We didn't have it for the win, but had a bit of the Quinella. So sort of cobbled together $38. Wasn't a banner day. And then on the football, so wrong about Port Adelaide. How did I get sucked into them again? Like, they are just... I knew that in the back of my mind that they would let us all down at their home ground. But at the time, the $1.33 seemed appealing. Everything was going for them. Geelong seemed fickle, but they just come out and show a professionalism that other sides don't, and got it done. So ironically, Sydney ended up winning. And then ironically, we got the other leg as well, Hawthorn, which was the most, they were the most outsiders. It was the easiest leg. Sydney shouldn't have won, so we shouldn't have even got this $20 bonus bet back, which will be used to great effect tomorrow, but that was just a total get out of jail. So there was no $93 return. Would have been great to have taken Geelong and, got back like $130. Didn't happen. So taking the $11 loss on the races, a $20 loss on the football, and moving on. Overall, we are showing a 29% return overall for the whole history of this show. We were at 36% the week before, now we're at 29. Still good. So we go into this week with $27.50 in bonus bets. This is one of the world's, definitely the best racing days so far in the spring. The fields are fantastic, so competitive. Sydney's good too, but just Flemington's just outstanding. So wherever you're betting, whatever you're doing, it's going to be great. So let's dive in. Race 1 at Flemington. Nadal's the favourite, and I can see why. Kieran Maher trained, ran in some good Group 1s last prep. The $4, I guess, seems generous in a way. I don't know, it could be a bit of a... It's got to sort of win in this grade in like a big race like this. Down the straight too, which some horses just don't like it. So for me, with 60 kilos, admittedly they all have got sort of like a lot of weight in theory, but for me there's just not really a reason to back it yet. I like the way Sir Sway won his last race. It was only a 70 grade at Morphettville, but has beaten Stretton Angel, which is quite impressive. And just the consistency, 8 starts, 5 wins, 2 placings. I love that. And Barrier 15 looks bad on paper, but it's down the straight. So if that side of the track's playing well, it could even be an advantage. So $6 for the place looks good. I'll put that in multis. So Glamorous, number 10. Really like this as well. Just it was consistent in its early runs. Then it was up to Group Company. Wasn't far away. Sort of got tailed off over 1,600 at Flemington. But out of So You Think, a lot of upside. $34 is really, really good value there. There's other ones in the market. It's a race where I'm pretty keen on those. I'll do sort of Each Way on So Glamorous, Each Way on So Sway, and then some sort of Quinella around 1 Barrack Heels, 6 She Light, which is also good value, 10 So Glamorous, and where is it? 8 So Sway. Might chuck one in, as usual. It'll all be in the bet sheet at the end. So good race to start the day. I'll be hoping for a bit of an outsider magic with those. Going into race 2 at Flemington. 1,400 metre listed. Wonder Boy was good last time behind Growing Empire. It sort of came from the right part of the track that day at Caulfield. You had to be sort of midfield, around about 5th or 6th with a bit of cover. So it was in the right zone. It was a great run, and it should run well again. Barrier 1, if it goes back, where will it sit, is a question. I don't really want to take it at 270. Daggers was good at Moonee Valley. Did it beat much? Doubtful. Detroit City, 2 starts, 2 wins. The margins have been good, and at least you know it's going to go forward. So that, I think, is the value at 550. I like CC Milano. It's a great name. The owners should be applauded for that. And being out of yes, CC, damn, that is good. So very smart. I always like smart owners and smart names. Hasn't really run in great races, but just the way that it's sort of powered to the line from back in the field, I like that. And at Flemington, down a big straight, that should be it'll have a lot of room to work with. So I'll have something each way in CC Milano. Dawn Service, we back last time in Sydney where it ran second. That's definitely in the market. I don't know. It's a small field, so it's just going to depend on who gets a good run. I don't love the race that much. I mean, in saying that, like if that's one of the least appealing races on the day, what a great card. So probably something each way on Detroit City just to use a promo, but I'll be there for CC Milano to see how that goes. Moving on to race 3, Cap d'Antibes Stakes listed over 1,100 metres. This is great. This is a really great race. Drifting was good last start. It did have a good run. It had held on really well. Was very impressive. This is just a really good race. Like Bellatrix Star brings a lot of good New Zealand form. To be or not to be is probably the one that I want to be on the most. It's been backed into 750. It was a bit longer yesterday. And good win last start over Amina. 2 runs close up behind, how do I say this, Hayasugi. Really good. I just think that first up, that could have improved so much off the break, and it's going to come out tomorrow and be really good. So I will be 100% on to be or not to be. And then it's just a matter of sort of which horses to put in a Quinella and Trifecta. So the Dabble Effect was interesting. Has had some good runs recently and is good value. Forever in Time bombed last start when I was on it, but like it could be a lot better than that. So I'll have something each way with a bonus bet at 100 to 1. That's just sort of silly odds. Another profit down the bottom as well, sort of could be some value. Harper Lee is also one I've sort of liked in the past, but will it win tomorrow? Not exactly sure. It has lost behind Growing Empire earlier on. So for me, it'll be some sort of Quinella around 2, 3, 4, maybe 12. But I'll definitely be doing each way on to be or not to be. And probably also Bellatrix Star, the New Zealander. It's $18. I don't really see why. It won a Group 2 over there, close up in 2 listed races. Decent first up run at Caulfield to sort of get ready for this. Barrier 6, there's nothing not to like. So yeah, something each way. And it's out of Star Witness. So something each way there. Be interesting to see how Drifting goes, whether it can be a favourite that can back up again and win. But yeah, that'll be a great race to watch. Going into race 4. Yeah, so we see Growing Empire again here in the Poseidon Stakes, 1,100 metres listed. Yeah, well, I mean, it couldn't have been any more impressive last start, that's for sure. Is it valued at $1.75? I reckon that this is a really high quality race. Prost and Double and Down are both quite decent horses. I mean, they've also won Group 3 races. Like Growing Empire won a Group 3 last time, did it pretty impressively. But like Prost and Double and Down are both Group 3 winners that went on to Group 1 and, weren't far away. So I think that they're big dangers at $17 and $26 respectively. High Octane's a good horse. Aardvark is definitely value at $20.26. It's won at Flemington before, listed race here. Yeah, I mean, that's quite tempting. Stay Focused was really good last start, better than what it seemed. Like it did run third, but it did a lot of work and it was a sitting duck and it held on for third, which we should not forget about. So at $16, that is an absolute gift. Have to have something on that. First Hitler's been good in its 2 runs, but question mark over what it beat. I'll be interested to see how it measures up. Indola flew home last time for second to Public Attention, who didn't really do much last weekend, but still, at $11, that is of interest. Depends where it'll be. The Chauvinist I've liked recently. I'm just not sure whether the form's going to super stack up in this. I probably should have something on it each way just to cover myself. Polyglot, I feel, was really good when it won that maiden at Bendigo. It was a decent third at Moonee Valley when it wasn't really in the right spot last time, but I just don't know if the format of that race is going to be that good. So I'm sort of happy to risk, but you could easily have something on it. And then Lofty Arch first starter out of Schnitzel. Far out. I mean, that's 40 to 1 and who honestly knows? So that is a fantastic race. It probably makes sense to have something if you're betting for promos like each way and Growing Empire and then get bonus bets back. I'm going to do Stay Focused each way and then either bonus bets or like maybe one more each way on Double and Down and then bonus bets on Prost and Indola. And I'll do a Quinella and Trifecta around those. And I'll leave out Growing Empire even from the exotics, just in the off chance that like if it doesn't run first or second, those dividends will be huge. So I'll have a crack at that. And then maybe a trifecta where Growing Empire is a roving banker, Stay Focused as a roving banker, and then like Field to Rove, just for an interest there. But yeah, great race. Moving into race 5, Archer Stakes 2,500 meters. This is a pretty, I mean, they've all, I don't know, I don't think any of this form's going to stack up in a few weeks' time. Berkshire Breeze was weak last time, losing in that race where, I mean, Horrifying beat it. There weren't a lot of great horses in that race. If it wasn't going to win then, I don't know if it's going to win now. There comes a point in the spring where sort of the winter form trails off. There's sort of like a real... I remember when Yucatan won at Caulfield, this has been like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago when it was, made Melbourne Cup favourite off the back of that. But that was a time where it went into that race where it wasn't a super big favourite, but there were a lot of winter horses who had good form that were in the market where the form just ended abruptly that day. And Yucatan was the fresh horse on the scene. So I feel like with Dashing Duchess, yeah, I mean, it's had good form and the wins have been there. It might soon be sort of hitting a wall. Point King was good at Moonee Valley. Question marks over that race and the form out of it. Post Impressionist, I can't really get that excited about. Like, it wasn't a super good run last time. From 4th out of 7th in that same race that Horrifying won. I'd almost be going Horrifying again, just purely because I can't make a case for that much else. You could certainly say that Berkshire Breeze is better to bet on this time at $3.60 rather than $1.40 last time. That's a fair argument. We backed Point King last time, so there's a good reason to stay on it. For me, not a race to invest much on. Something each way in Point King for the promo, maybe also something each way in Horrifying for the promo. Honestly, exotics, I just don't know. I just have no idea what's going to happen, so let's just see. Could be some interesting form to come out of that for the sort of longer distance races in the weeks to come. I don't really think it's going to matter too much on the big ones, but anyway, moving on. Race 6, Vale Black Caviar, 1,400 meters, listed race, 4-year-olds and above. This is pretty cool in that it's just so open. I think that there are a lot of horses up the top of the market, up the top of the numbers here who could run well. Bandersnatch has been good close up lately. Paying $14 in a race like this is quite tempting. I think you could say the same for Aaron Bay. Has been a winner in past preps. First up, $13 is pretty generous, really, for a horse that has quite a stack of ability. Barrier 12, it'll have to contend with which over the 400 meters at Flemington is never good. Nicolini Vito's not really a horse that wins a lot, which I'm really big on winners, horses that have that good strike rate. So Holy Man's, I think, is building up to something. Macram, who will forget winning at 150 to 1 a few starts, 4 starts back. Who knows what that will put up. I will be having something each way Bandersnatch, something each way Aaron Bay, something each way Holy Man's, and then Quinellas and Trifectas, 2 Bandersnatch, 3 Aaron Bay, 5 Holy Man's, 9 Carbling for something sort of outlandish. 10 and below, I'm just not that interested in, or I should better say I don't want to back them that much, so I'll sort of stick to the top of the order. El Soliado could do something, but yeah, I mean, anything could. So a lot of first up horses, tricky race. I'll sort of limit myself there. Moving on to race 7, Let's Slope Stakes, 1,400 meters, Group 2. Okay, Quintessa was good last time, but again, I feel like it had a really, really good run. So 550, top of the market, top of the weights this time. Not as keen. I think Vibrant Sun, number 2, really, really good value at $19. It ended up winning a Group 1 last time over 2,000. I know that it's sort of first up this time, but I feel like that could just go forward and maybe hold on to a place, something for a bit of value. See You in Heaven, equal favourite. I mean, I'm just loath to sort of take Adelaide horses too often. They don't usually come over and win that much. It could do it. I think there are other, like Vagrant at 26, 8th and 7th doesn't seem that impressive. But gee, it's raced in some good races, like Group 1 last time behind Pinstripes, listed before that. In the prep before that, it was, winning a Group 3, winning a 70, winning another 70 back-to-back. I think that could easily run into a place and pay $7 for the place, which is more than See You in Heaven's paying for the win. Grinzinga Bell similarly. It's not really a horse or a name that I super like, but I think there's value there. Close up in a lot of group races. I'll be putting that in exotics. And then a lot of other ones. Wollombi might be coming to the end of its sort of form tether. Yeah, Casts down the bottom is interesting. Foxy Cleopatra. For me, it'll be Each Way Vagrant. Maybe also Grinzinga Bell, and then a Quinella around 2, 4, 5, 15, 16. That race, pretty tricky. Quintessa could easily win again, but like I'll sort of take it on, I think. Getting into race 8, Makybe Diva Stakes. This is great. So Pinstripe was really good last time. We backed it that day. It was in the right part of the track. It has improved obviously a lot over the prep. It was in the right part of the track. Brightside was a bit of a sitting duck. Pride of Jenny just fell away. Via Sistina here at the 240. I don't know that that's tremendous value. I think when it gets over a bit more distance, it'll be really, really good. But Barrier 1, even though it's only got 57 kilos, but like first time, I think this is first time in Melbourne for it. That's always a question mark too. I'll be taking it on. Pride of Jenny is probably good value now at 650. It wasn't a day for leaders last time, so that could improve massively. I think Brightside at 310. It was 370, I think, yesterday. It's been backed in, but it wasn't a bad run last time at all, and it's only going to be better really for the run now. So considering that last time Brightside was like 250 and Pinstripe was 13, and now that they're 3 and 8, I'd rather be on Brightside, and I'll do Quinella's Brightside, Pride of Jenny, actually Exacta, Brightside and Pride of Jenny to win, and then the same for second and throw in Pinstriped in a tissue. We'll take on Via Sistina. And then going into race 9, the finale of the day. I think this was one that I wasn't as keen about. Big field again, tricky to know. Once it loads. Let's bring it up. So Laws of Indices at 40-1 could offer something first up. Buenos Noches, really good horse, has had its injury troubles, but like this is a really, really open, really good race. Right to Party has been really good lately. I just feel like it's running into some really good, tough horses in this. I'm really, really keen on Stretton Angel. I think that over the break it will have improved. I like the form that it's had. I think that that's just like down in the weights, barrier 4, that's like a perfect sort of option. I'd sort of say the same about Skybird. It's a horse that I like, but I just don't feel like it'll be as tough maybe, or as has the ability. Arkansas Kid at 750. I liked it in the sort of the weakerish races it was in. I don't know about this time up against horses like Griff, Buenos Noches. The Astrologist down the straight is always great value, so the 19 is really good. There's been a few scratchings which sort of take a little bit of the interest out because Benedetta would have been quite cool to see. So each way on Stretton Angel, and Quinella's and Exactas around 1, Laws of Indices, 4, Buenos Noches, 7, The Astrologist, 11, Stretton Angel, 13, Skybird. That wasn't the finale, that was race 9. So jumping into race 10. Here we go. Emissary has been quite, I mean, it's first up after a long layoff, but gee, I mean, it's could do something this time. Aurora Symphony, I'd like to wait on once it's had a few more runs. King Magnus is good value at the $13. It's had a lot of runs this prep being close up. Cesuro, not as keen. I think I'll wait. Barclay Square, really good. Like it's second up, good second up form. I think the 10 is value. Keats should go forward. Rolls should go forward. Positivity is a worthy favourite. It was a great run last time, coming off good New Zealand form. Greenfly's unpredictable. Could win or run a really good place and could run nowhere. And then not really sure on Shy Yard down the bottom, number 16 at the 750. So for me, each way on Barclay Square, and then a Quinella around. We'll throw in Emissary, so number 2 just for a bit of value. 3 King Magnus, 6 Barclay Square, 11 Positivity. And yeah, that wraps up wraps up Flemington. Having a bit of a look at Rosehill. So race 1 midway. I'm going to go Silent Tsar. I just like the form. I think it's been consistent and it's a really open race. So, and then Quinellas and Trifectas 2, 3, 6, Shalouk, 8, Unwritten, and 11, Leandra. A few good roughies in there, and just, I like those midways to spice things up. You could jag a Quinella or a Trifecta and have a good start to the day. Race 2, a Highway. Again, this one's like so open. I'll be doing each way on Medina, number 9, paying $11, and Everito, number 18, paying $13. I think they both represent good value. And then Quinellas and Trifectas around 5, 1 beat, no beat, 9 Medina, 13 Away Goes the Bunny, 17 Ackerson, and 18 Everito. Race 3, Shandon Handicap 800 metres. I'm just going to do something for the win on Unusual Legacy, the favourite at 250. I'll keep it simple and we'll just use the promos. Moving on to race 4. Very open here. I don't know about Camp Haldino. Hasn't won a lot of good races, and at the 440, I think it'll go down. Methuselah's been good lately. First Light after 2 runs will be better and will be sort of hitting top gear. So 4 is definitely prominent. Commando Drift, I think, did win first up. I feel like the $19 is good value. So each way on First Light and Commando Drift, and then Quinellas and Trifectas around 4 First Light, 7 Methuselah, 10 Commando Drift, and throw in the 5 Kappa Kiri. So that covers race 4. Race 5, another good value race. High Dandy's had 2 good wins. I'm not that convinced at the 480 because it's a big field. Vivier is a horse I've followed for a long time, really like, so I have something on that for the promo. And then bonus bets on number 1, I've Been Trying. I like that second up, paying 10. And Firestorm, number 2. I think that could really improve. And it's got a 3 kilo claim, so that's paying 17. So Quinellas and Trifectas around 1, I've Been Trying. 2, Firestorm. 7, Zondi. Also the 3, Cadetship. The 4, Mayor of Mount Buller. This will be a big one. 13, Vivier. It's quite a lot in that one. Race 6, the Shirako Stakes, 1200 metres, Group 2. This is cool. Jolly Star was good last time, but there are a lot of good horses in this who are quite capable, like Tis Invincible and Mumbai Muse. Both sort of top-line horses in a way, and both paying 34. So I wouldn't be surprised if something knocks off Jolly Star. Sunshine in Paris is good. Macarena, Commemorative. It's much more of an open race than it seems with a $1.85 favourite. So all I know is I won't be taking Belclair at number 1. I think that'll improve a bit later on. So maybe something just on Jolly Star just for the promo, but definitely bonus bets on Tis Invincible, Mumbai Muse. And then Quinellas and Trifectas around 2, 3, 5, and 6. Definitely Quinella for 2, 3, 5, and 6. And then Trifecta maybe, if Jolly Star wins, won't pay much. So 2, 5, and 6 for first, 2, 3, 5, and 6 for second, and then Field for third. Moving on to race 7, Ming Dynasty Group 3. Same sort of story here, like Mayfair's the favourite at 460. Is it really good value? Not really sure of that. I like number 13, Mr. Artemisia. It's paying 19 out of the Autumn Sun. I think that is going to improve big time. So I'm going to definitely have that each way. And then Quinella's around 2, Clear Proof, 5, Rag Queen at 50, good value, 11, Lady Shenandoah, and 13, Mr. Artemisia. Quinella there, and then Trifecta the same. Maybe could throw in something else like an Imperial Force is good, but it's only 10 to 1. You could throw in something bigger. That'll be in the bet sheet at the end. Race 8, the James Squire Run to the Rose. Storm Boy's favourite, deservedly. I think that there's a lot of, like Tropicus I wanted to back last time at Melbourne, but it was scratched. So that's really good value at 23. You could say the same for Fearless and Anode. Close up in Group 1 races, paying $20 plus, super value there. So Trifecta's around 2, 6, 7, 9, 10 boxed. And then hopefully Storm Boy goes under and we can get some big dividends. Looking at the next race, I'll just have something each one on Diamond Diesel at 50 to 1, just for the sake of it. And then at race 10, be a bit of a skip affair. Not really sure how the track will be by that time of the day. So great day's racing. That covers the racing aspects. On the footy, then the AFL, what to do. Because there's only 2 games and the promotion is on same game multi Friday night, that's a logical thing. So it'll be a $20 same game multi on the Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn game. So Dixon for a goal. Last week he looked so slow and couldn't do anything. I feel like on a undersized Hawthorn backline, he'll probably kick one. Chol for a goal. So Dixon, Chol. Ollie Wines, 20 or more touches. And then for 25 or more touches, Jai Newcomb, Massivo D'Ambrosio. And then maybe one more leg. Yeah, maybe Georgiades for a goal, just at $1.10. So $20 on that. And we will see a bit of a juicy return. And if we don't get it, bonus bet's back for next week. So perfect scenario. So it's really a great day's racing tomorrow. Hopefully you are successful and enjoy it. Yeah, bets are on screen. So have a fantastic time. I'll be playing tennis and checking into the race results when I can. And Viva the Spring Carnival. Have a great day.
And then came Sweet Liaison as they turned for home. Jefferson, he's been in front every inch of the way. He's out like 2.